भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैवं नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयं उदीरयेत्। शृण्वते स्वकथा कृष्ण पुण्यश्रवणकीर्तनः हृदयन्तास्तु भद्राणि विधुनोतिर्सृतिसदम् नाष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवतसेवया भगवते उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 25, Text 29, 49 and 50. Sorry. Mukhanam purastad dvasthaya pranabahudano Vishayo yati puraradra rasagya vipananvitaha. Translation and put by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The fifth gate, situated, synonyms, sorry. Mukhya, the chief, Nam, called. Purastat, on the eastern side. Devaha, gate. Taya, by that. Apan, of the name Apan. Bahudano, of the name Bahudan. Vishayo, two places. Yati, used to go. Pura Rad, the king of the city, Puranjana. Ras Rasagya, of the name Rasagna. Vipana, of the name Vipana. Anvitaha, along with. Translation purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Of the fifth gate. The fifth gate situated on the eastern side was named Mukhya, or the chief. Through this gate, accompanied by his friends named Rasagna and Vipana, he used to visit two places named Bahudan or Apan. Purport: the mouth is here described as the chief or the most important gate. The mouth is a very important entrance because one has two functions to conduct with the mouth. One function is eating and the other is speaking. Our eating is done with the friend Rasagya, the tongue, which can taste so many different types of foods. The tongue is also used for speaking, and it can speak of either material sense enjoyment or Vedic knowledge. Of course, here material sense enjoyment is stressed, therefore, the word rasagna is used. Text 50. पितृर्नुपपुर्याद्वादरदक्ष दक्षिणेन पुरञ्जनः राष्ट्रं दक्षिणपञ्चालं याति शुत्रधरान्वितः. Pitruhu, of the name Pitru. Nripa, or king. Puriyaha, of the city. Devaha, gate. Dakshinena, on the southern side. Puranjana, King Puranjan. Rashtram, country. Dakshina, southern. Panchalam, of the name Panchal. Yati, used to go. Shruta Dhara Anvitaha, along with his friend Shrutadhara. The southern gate of the city was known as Pitru, and through the gate, King Puranjan used to visit the city named Dakshina Panchal, accompanied by his friend Shrutadhara. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The right ear is used for karmakandiya or fruitive activities. As long as one is attached to the enjoyment of material resources, he hears from the right ear and uses the five senses to elevate himself to the higher planetary systems like Pitraloka. Consequently, the right ear is here described as the Pitru gate. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesh Ashunyavadi Pashata Deshatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Sadi Gaur Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Thank you, assembled Vaishnavas, for giving this
Hare Krishna.
opportunity. Yes, Prabhu.
You have to read 51 also, right, bro?
Oh, okay. Sorry. I did not know. Sorry. Somehow I thought I was on the 49 and 50. Okay, I can read it.
Yeah,
No problem.
Thank you.
देवहूनां पुर्याद्वार उत्तरेण पुरञ्जनः राष्ट्रमुत्तरपञ्चालं यादिश्रुतधरान्वितः. Translation purport by Srila Prabhupada. Translation synonyms. Devahu, of the name Devahu, Nama as it was called, Puriya of the city, Devaha gate, Uttarena on the northern side, Puranjana, king of Puranjan, Rashram country, Uttara northern, Panchalam of the name Panchal, Yati used to go, Shrutadhara Anvitaha with his hand, Shrutadhara. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. On the northern side was the gate named Devahu. Through the gate, King Puranjan used to go with his friend Shrutadhara to the place known as Uttara Panchal. Purport. The two ears are situated on the northern side and southern side. The ear on the southern side is very young and is always anxious to hear about sense enjoyment. The ear on the northern side, however, is used for taking initiation from the spiritual master and for gaining promotion to the spiritual sky. The right ear on the southern side is called Pitru, which indicates that it is used for attaining the higher planetary systems known as Pitraloka, but the left ear, which is known as Devahu, is utilized for hearing about even the higher planetary systems, such as Maharloka, Tapaloka, and Brahmaloka. And yet, even higher planets situated in a spiritual universe, where one becomes more inclined to be permanently situated. This is explained in Bhagavad Gita 9.25. Yanti deva vrata devan pitran yanti pitravratah bhutani yanti bhutegya yanti mad yagno pimam. Those who worship the demigods will take birth among the demigods. Those who worship the ghosts and spirits will take birth among such beings, and those who worship ancestors go to the ancestors, and those who worship me will live with me. One who is interested in being happy on this planet as well as after the death generally wants to be elevated to the Pitralokas. Such a person can use the right ear for hearing Vedic instructions. However, one who is interested in going to Tapaloka, Brahmaloka, the Vaikuntha planets, or Krishnaloka may take initiation from spiritual master in order to be elevated to such lokas. नमः ओम विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी इति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Thank you, Assembled Vaishnavas, for giving me this opportunity for speak for my own purification. I will summarize today's verses from the commentary by Acharyas and purport and commentary by Srila Prabhupada. Please forgive me if I add my own meaning or interpretation to this. So, in these verses, in this chapter, Sri Narad Muni is explaining allegorically to King Prachin Bharisad the body or the city of nine gates through the story of Puranjana. So in verse 49, he is explaining about fifth gate called a mouth. So the city has different gates, and then he's explaining one by one different gates, their functions, and then how a living entity, uh, which is represented by here King Puranjan, they engage different gates and different parts of the city for the different activities. So he is explaining about the fifth gate called mouth. Mouth, where Puranjana enters with his two friends, Rasagna and Vipana, and he visits places like Bhudana and Apana. So let's understand a little bit deeper the meaning of this gate and his friends. So here the mouth is described as the chief or the mukhya or the most important gate. The mouth is very important entrance because mouth controls two functions. One function is eating and then another one is speaking. So if we control our mouth, we can control these two functions very nicely. Now there are two friends here mentioned. One is Rasagna. Now Rasagna has two words, Ras and Gna. Ras means taste, and gna means knower. So, one who appreciates the flavor or excellent of, or one who knows the taste of, is called rasagna. Our tongue is described as a rasagna because through tongue we experience all the flavors when we eat food. So, another word also here uses vipana. That is a second friend that King Puranjan takes along with him. And vipana refers here allegorically to the organ of speech and can also be applied to the energy of activity or even the concept of a market is used vipana is used for, while not literally a part of a body, but it symbolically represents the mechanism or energy used for speaking. Now similarly, another word for vipana is market, means figuratively to describe the place of exchange of ideas. So the word Vipana here also means market or trading place in a Sanskrit. This connection suggests that speech is a means of exchanging or trading words, ideas, and information. So these are the two words. One is Rasagya means tongue, and Vipana is the energy for speech. The concept highlights the importance of speech and communication as a vital human function and the source of energy or activity within the society. Now, with these two friends, Puranjan, he visits the place Bahudana, which it can also refer allegorically to food uh, in general. And the another word here is apan. Is apana is one of the five pran vayus, the wind or life force currents. So while prana moves inward and upward in the life force, taking in life force, apan moves downward and outward and facilitating the release of waste and toxin from our body, both physically and emotionally. So apana is the opposite of prana. Now the question is, why here the distinction made between these two functions? Some people cannot speak, but they can still taste the food. And without the energy to speech given to the tongue, one cannot speak. So that's why Sri Narad Muni here clearly made these two distinctions. And for these two functions, what we eat or think or inhale, it comes out. Now, in the next verse 50, it is mentioned that king visits the southern gate of the city known as Pitruhu with his friend Shrutadhara. Now, why this city is called Pitru? Because a person who is attached to the enjoyment of material resources hears from the right ear and uses their five senses to elevate them still to the higher and material planetary system like Pitraloka. And for this reason, the right ear is described as a Pitru gate or the gate to the world of the ancestors. Here, another word is used, Shrutadhara. Shruta means hear, and Dhara means the one who can hold it or keep it. So the Shrutidhar is someone who possesses an extraordinary ability to remember everything they hear, showcasing the excellent information retention capability. So the right ear is symbolically associated with karma kanda, fruitive or material activities, while the left ear is connected to the path of devotion or bhakti. So in the next 50, verse 51, it is said that with the left ear, we take the initiation from the spiritual master. So that's why that ear is represented by using for the listening the elevated or devotional activities. Now, hearing through the right ear symbolizes one's attachment to material enjoyment and actions performed to achieve the higher material status. It represents a motivation for spiritual advancement that is still has roots in a desire for material benefits rather than pure devotion. So, this allegorically association with right ear explains how a soul focused on these material outcomes remains bound by the cycle of action reaction and comes back into this material world again and again. Because by allegorically listening through right ear means that we are only interested in a material advancement, which can take us up to the Pitrulog or maybe heavenly planets. But after we exhaust all our karmas, we have to come back in this world. That's why it's emphasis that we should use the left ear, which is designated to hear the spiritual and devotional knowledge. Um, and we should utilize that. So, in the contrast, left ear is where one hears transcendental knowledge and messages of the God. The spiritual ear, developed through proper devotional service, allows an individual to pursue spiritual truth beyond material influences. By hearing spiritual message through left ear, a devotee receives divine guidance and progress on a path of the pure devotional service. So here choice is given that what is our consciousness when we hear different things. If we hear spiritual message for devotional service, it means we are hearing through left ear, and it takes us closer to Krishna. Now, mouth here is considered a very important gate because through mouth we control two important functions: speech and eating food. By discriminating what we eat or what we speak is very important. But how do we control this gate? So we have given this process in Bhagavad Gita 2.59. It Krishna says that Vishyamini vartante niraharasya dehina rasavarjam rasopasya param drashta nivartate. We need to get to the higher taste. So the embodied soul may be restricted by sense enjoyment. The taste for sense enjoyment objects still remains. And by ceasing such engagement, by experiencing a higher taste, he is fixed in a consciousness. So it's very important. How do we get our higher taste to our tongue and our speech? So God realization, Srila Prabhupada says, begin with the tongue. Therefore, the tongue's function is to eat and a vibrate sound. So these two process, vibration of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, and eating Krishna Prasad. You cannot allow your tongue to taste anything and everything. You can control your tongue for eating Krishna Prasad. And you engage your tongue in a vibrating the transcendental sound, Hare Krishna. When a conditioned soul is awakened to Krishna consciousness and renders the services by using his tongue to chant the Lord's holy name and that taste the remnant of the Lord's food, the tongue is purified. And one gradually comes to understand who really Krishna is. That's why in Prasadam prayer also we say that, "O Lord, this material body is a place of ignorance, and the senses are network of paths to death. Somehow we have fallen into this ocean of material sense enjoyment, and all of the senses, the tongue is the most voracious and uncontrollable. It is very difficult to conquer the tongue in this world. But you, dear Krishna, you are very kind to us, has given us such a nice remnants just to control the tongue. Now we take this, your remnants, to our full satisfaction and glorify you, Lord Radha and Krishna. And in our love, call for the help of Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda. So that's why it's very important to control the. That's why here the mouth is called mukhya or chief. Similar applies to hearing. It is recommended to hear with the left ears, means hearing about Krishna and his devotees. Krishna consciousness movement is hearing and chanting about Krishna. And the shortcut is to chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So anyone who chants this Hare Krishna mantra and anyone who hears Hare Krishna mantra, both of them are benefited. And it can be done anywhere. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given his benediction that Iha haite sarva siddhi hoi botomar. By simply chanting this, chanting and hearing of Hare Krishna mantra, all perfection you will get, and it is very easy process. So it is very important for us to control our mouth, which is our chief gate, and what it goes or what it enters to it. Even in any cities or kingdoms, not everyone is allowed. So that's why we have to be very discriminate on what enters in our mouth and what comes out of our mouth. And that's why it's very important that we control it to through harinam chanting and Krishna Prasad and hearing. So this is a very, very nice message given to here. This I like to conclude the summary. Please forgive